Hello and welcome. My name is Anita Griesbach and welcome to Female Success Stories, where I share success stories of women from all around the globe to inspire and to encourage millions of women to write their own success story. Today, I'm very happy to introduce to you Maartje Bakker. Maartje has, I think it was last year, turned her life completely upside down. Let's find out more, how and why. Very warm welcome to you, Maartje. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's really exciting to be on your show and to get to share a little bit about my past year.
Yeah, I'm excited. At the moment, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good. I'm calling from Wilmington in North Carolina. It's the morning. It's a kind of dreary day, which reminds me of home, the Netherlands. So I'm having my coffee. I'm chatting with you. All good.
Sounds great. And yeah, I'm really excited to find out more about your transition, about how you started following your dreams. And let me check oh yeah, you are living a really fulfilled life now. You are creating your life according to your terms. But this hasn't always been the case, right? Would you share a little about your past? How did it look like? And why have you decided to leave that kind of life behind you?
Absolutely. Yes. So I would say that I am a natural people pleaser, perfectionist, A player, high achiever, however you want to say it. All of that is like written all over my face, basically. And living according to, that characteristic that I have has brought me very far, very early on. So in the first years of me working, coming out of university, I was working at a high-tech innovation consultancy, and I was growing really fast in this company. And I thought that I was working towards fulfillment. And this is where the story really starts, because today I am living in line with my values and in fulfillment. But back then, I wasn't really. However, I thought I was, because from as long as I can remember, making it big was really important to me. So I had this vision. I'm going to be the CEO of a multinational, and I'm going to have a lot to say about a lot of people. And that last part, that was my goal. Honestly, I don't really know why. I don't know why I wanted to have a lot to say about a lot of people, but a part of me thinks it might be something with the patriarchy and our idea of power.
Yeah.
That is what in the common subconscious is what we believe is power. And I longed for that. And that longing, that actually brought me to a place where I could achieve that. I was growing really fast in this company. I was getting promoted left and right. It was going really well. And at the same time, I was not feeling good. I was not feeling good at all. Like, I was in my early 20s, and every Friday at 7 p.m., I would just be laying on my bed, just finished working, unable to do anything, unable to even get myself in the shower, when I was living in Amsterdam and was, supposed to have a great weekend. But really what I was doing was recovering from the whole week. And what I was recovering from is what I can pinpoint really well now, but I couldn't then, was people pleasing. So every day at work, I was trying to make everybody happy. In all of my relationship, I was trying to make everybody happy, when really the person who I should be making happy, me, got totally lost in the equation. So I needed every Friday afternoon, evening, and every Saturday to recover from my week. And on Sunday, I would already at 3 p.m. or earlier feel, oh God, tomorrow it's Monday. And this had nothing to do with my job. This had everything to do with me, how I was approaching it. And once I started to become a little bit more conscious of that, once I started to see, hey, this is the one way ticket to burnout, that's when I said, okay, something needs to change. To to fast forward, and I'm sure we'll chat about how that change happened, but to fast forward to today, I am no longer working in the rat race. I have autonomy on how I spend my time, who I spend my time with. I have a job that fulfills me deeply, and I don't feel stressed, and I don't feel like I need to recover from my week. Today's a Friday. I'm fine.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It's so great that you have discovered that so early on, because I think, well, many people discover it way too late or even never. They might jump from career to career, from company to company and search outside, but you can only find the solution in yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So great, congrats to this big step.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so glad that I figured out that something felt wrong in that vision that I had for success and for fulfillment of being this big CEO of a multinational and having a lot to say about a lot of people. I'm glad that I figured out so quickly that that was not actually what I wanted, and that what I wanted was time and freedom and travel and passion in my work, and that I managed to do the courageous things to make that happen so that I am where I am today. And now I laugh when I think about this CEO, because I wouldn't want to be her. I wouldn't want to be her.
It's no wonder. I mean, it's school, it's our society, it's how we grow up, at least in Western countries. This is success, but it's external. And if someone is happy and fulfilled as a CEO, perfectly fine. But if someone hates his life or job or whatever, feels empty, there's something wrong. So
Absolutely.
great, you discovered your way and chose a different path. So would you tell about your transformation? How did that happen? Was it like a step-by-step process, or did you have a game changer? Or I'm really curious to hear more.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of a step-by-step and a one moment change. And the step-by-step really happened in me changing that vision of what success meant to me and what a fulfilling life was to me. Because once I started to feel that there was something that wasn't quite clicking in this multinational CEO vision, I started to think, like, what is it that attracts me to this vision? And it was either I was going to be a big CEO, I was going to found a startup, like it was something like that. And when I really dug deep, I found that in each of those scenarios, what I was looking forward to was the exit. So if I am a CEO of a big multinational, that means that I can quit my job and have enough money to not do that anymore. If I found a successful startup and I sell it and I exit, I have enough money to not do that anymore. So everything was based on this exit. I am going to go through the grind. I'm probably going to feel terrible, but it's okay because I'm going to exit and I won't have to do that anymore. And once I realized that, I thought, why am I trying to reach something that I am immediately trying to leave? So I don't have to do that anymore. That is not how I want to live my life. I'm living for the weekends. I'm living for the exit. I'm living for the vacations. That's not how I want to live. And that's when that slowly trickled down into me realizing, what is it that I want? That freedom, that time, being able to work wherever I want, which I do right now. So that was kind of the slowness. And then there was one particular moment which made me make the courageous action. And at this point, I was still working in my job. I knew that I was going to quit at some point. The question was just when. I was getting my coaching degree because I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to start a coaching business. And I am practicing my coaching with one of the other students on a Sunday. And the question that I wanted to do and talk about with my then coach, my student friend, was, when should I quit my job? And he asked me, if anything was possible, what would you do? And I said, well, I would quit my job tomorrow. He said, okay, why can't you do that? I said, well, I need money. Okay. how can you get money? Is what he asked. I said, well, I can stay here. I can get a part-time job making coffee or something. I can use my savings, but I can't do that. And he said, wait, hold on. Why can't you use your savings? And I said, well, those savings are for a moment where I am stuck somewhere and I can't leave because of money. Then I have that pot of money that I can use to leave this situation. And that's when he left the best silence. I still believe this is the best silence of his coaching career. And I realized in about 10 seconds, which is a long time to hold a silence, I was like, okay, that is now. I'm literally stuck right now. So I need to use that money. And that was the moment where it shifted for me. And I was like, wait, this is the time. And the next day I went into work on Monday. And I didn't expect to quit my job. I wasn't going in planning to quit my job, but halfway through the workday, I'm sitting in my office, I'm sitting at my desk, and suddenly I just know. And the reason why I knew was because I didn't need to ask anybody. I didn't need to call anybody. I didn't need to text someone saying, I think I'm quitting my job. I did it. It was my choice. I chose me. So I walk downstairs and I go to the HR lady and I say, I'm quitting. And after that, I texted and I said, I just quit my job. And that was the number one stopping people pleasing, the number one choosing me moment that I've had, because that was all me. And before I knew it, I was out the door and my business was launching. So that was the combination of slow trickling and one pivotal moment.
What a great story. I can imagine that as soon as you have spoken these words, said them out loud, yes, it was such a relief. Oh, how did you feel? What would you say? Were you proud? Were you scared? Were you, or probably everything at once?
Everything at once, definitely. I was very relieved. I was very relieved because I knew that it was going to happen. I knew I was quitting at some point. And it felt so good to have made that decision by myself instead of asking everyone around me, which was my normal go-to way of making decisions, because I was a people pleaser. So I would ask everyone around me, what do you think I should do?
Yeah.
And this is, I believe, the first time in my life that I did something all by myself, my choice. And so I felt proud, I felt excited, I felt scared to death because I just quit this very successful job. I had nothing lined up, no clients, no website, no business idea. There was nothing. There was, I support women in realizing their dreams, period. That was it.
I can imagine the feedback that you got from your family and friends.
You know, they were so supportive.
Yeah,
and I've always treasured that so much that whatever my choices have been, that my family and my friends have always been so incredibly supportive. And I think that is part of making this decision by myself, is what made them so supportive as well. To see, hey, this is something she really wants. She is making this choice. There's no way we're stopping her because she's doing this. And even though I didn't need the support because I was making this choice for me, it means so much to have the people in your life say, you go, girl.
Yeah, that's incredible. Because especially at the beginning, when you don't know where it will lead or whether it will lead to like success, whether outside or in a success, you will later definitely remember the people who have believed in you and cheered you up and empowered you at the beginning. Yeah,
absolutely.
well, never forget those people.
And I think what's so important there is that we detach ourselves from our role or our profession and things like that, because I used to see myself as a project manager. I am a project manager, and that made it really hard for me to wrap my head around wanting to change my career, because I am a project manager. It's part of my identity. You should look around, and when you meet someone new, what is the first thing they say about themselves? Do they say, hey, my name's Bob and I am an IT something something. Like, what is it that people say? Because that says so much about how you view yourself. And once I started to see myself not as the project manager, my family never saw me as Maartje, the project manager, but as me, who I am. They don't see me as Maartje, the female empowerment coach or anything right now. They see me as who I am. So making that choice, they will support me because they see me as the human that I am. And it doesn't matter if a business succeeds or fails, because they will still support you as the human who tried and put in the effort to grow, instead of this is a business idea, it either fails or it succeeds.
Yeah, and there is no failure or success, because you all the time you grow, you learn, and you either succeed or you learn, and then it goes on. I mean, even success, it's like a milestone, and then it goes on, and it can change, and you change. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great to hear that you have such a great surrounding. So the life that you have, like, that you have and are still creating for yourself, what would you say? What are your challenges right now?
That is such a great question. And there are a couple things that come up for me. And first of all, I want to say that I call myself an ex-people pleaser. Does not mean that I no longer struggle with people pleasing or those thoughts. So there are certain areas in my life where every day I'm working with the same tools that I'm teaching my clients how to choose me in those areas. And one of them is entrepreneurship. I actually wrote my weekly newsletter about this today, and that is that I am struggling with the people-pleasing thoughts in this area, almost as in pleasing myself to live up to this standard or example that you see on social media a lot, which is like 6 figures in 6 weeks. I have 4 employees on payroll. Like, I made this much money in 2022, and it's like crazy. And what happens in my brain is that I think that I should have already made X amount of money. I should already be there. I should not still be dealing with these kinds of things. I should already have a virtual assistant and like stuff like that. But when I take it back to the 3 steps that it takes to stop people pleasing, and the first one is sense of self, then you get confidence, and then you get courageous actions. And the sense of self is where this really, really grounds. So why did I start to do this? What is my motivation to do this? What are my values? And none of my motivations or values or drivers are based on money, virtual assistants, employees, none of that. It's about the freedom to make my own schedule, to be able to say, it's Tuesday and it's 2 p.m. I'm going for a swim in the ocean, instead of being stuck behind my desk because I have to be a certain place. It means being able to work from where I want. So I am trying to live up to this image that doesn't even align with how I want to live my life. So that is something that I'm continuously working on in the life that I'm building right now, and feeling confident in my business, feeling confident in my entrepreneurship and how I fill that in. That's one of the things. Another thing that I struggle with that goes hand in hand with working from anywhere in the world is planting roots. So I have consciously decided to leave my apartment in Amsterdam, to sell all of my stuff. I have about 6 cardboard boxes in my parents' attic. That is my stuff. I have a suitcase, of which I live out of. And my partner and I move around the United States about 3 to 4 months at a time at a certain place. So here I am right now, 2.5 months here at the beach, and I'm longing for deep relationships with people. But I know I'm leaving in 1.5 months. So that is something that I made the choice for, to have this life, because I love adventure and I love travel and seeing new places. And at the same time, I long for roots. So your building your life and creating the life that you feel joyful for and it feels pleasurable to you. It's like a constant thing that changes, where you constantly ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? Do I need to stay somewhere longer because I need more roots? Do I need to build a community somewhere? Like, what do I need? So yeah, it's definitely not all perfect and beautiful and without any struggles. There are definitely things that I still struggle with.
Yeah, and that's okay, because this is life, and it cannot be all happy, successful, I don't know, everything perfect, because this is life. There are ups and downs, but you have found your path. And that's a good thing. Even when you don't feel well or don't feel happy, you know why you do it, and you go on. And then there are the better days. And like you said, now you're traveling around, and whenever you two feel like we want deeper connections, you just stay somewhere for a longer time, or years, or forever. It's your choice. That's the great thing about it. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the number one thing that's important to me. So I'm glad that I
yeah.
do have that autonomy in order to shape it as I go, to shape the life that I need and that makes me feel good as I go through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and social media, what you said as first point, I think so many people have that, because it's, well, the question is whether what people write or show is really what they have achieved, or what they or maybe what they would like to achieve it and just show to the outside world. And really looking inside you, staying true to your values. Yeah, just like you said, that's the important thing, and that's the most important. Yeah, for you yourself, staying true to your values, staying on track. And if you compare yourself to someone, compare yourself to yourself, right? To what you did yesterday or even 2 years ago. When you think of Maartje 2 years ago, who was successful but unhappy, I'm sure you feel very successful now.
Oh my God, the difference. And I love that my friends share this with me more often than I actually take the time to stand still, because I'm someone, like I said, the high achiever, always looking for the next thing, always looking for the next goal to achieve. And sometimes my friends will say things like, hey, it was my birthday this week. A year ago, do you remember the conversations we were having a year ago? And one of my friends, we send podcasts to each other. Like, I'm sure a lot of people will resonate with this. We go on WhatsApp and send like 15-minute long voice notes to each other. And the other day I was sending one to her and I was talking about what was going on in my life. So I was like, I'm making some sourdough bread, I'm doing some watercolors, I'm working, it's fun, I'm going to the beach. And I didn't really notice this, but she responded and she said, damn, girl, you sound like you're just enjoying life. Do you remember what you were like a year ago? And here you are, you're literally just enjoying every little thing of your life. You're talking about you cooked a nice fish, you did a little bit of that, you went for a walk. There's no big things, because the small things are what you're enjoying. And I so appreciate that little bit of reflection from the outside, because I tend to just overlook it. But when I heard that, I thought, wow, that is a huge difference with me living from weekend to weekend. And now every day I'm enjoying whatever it brings and working through the struggles that every day has as well. But that's okay. That's life.
Yeah. Yeah, and these struggles, I mean, when you were a people pleaser, it's not like you solve the problem and it's in the past. When you're a people pleaser, you will always have this. You will take this with you, but you're aware of it. You accept it, and you work at it, and that's the most important. I mean, just like, I don't know, imposter syndrome, you probably know that. It's not like you go to a coach and then it's in the past. It's part of you, which is okay, and you know how to deal with it.
Absolutely. Like it's a conscious thing that you're
Yeah.
working at every day. And it's a conscious thing that I work at every day. It's not like one of those things is where we apologize a lot. And I've tried to switch sorry for thank you. And that is a very,
Mhm.
very conscious thing and a great example of how this doesn't just disappear and you don't have to struggle with it anymore. Every email that I write or message that I write, very often I will first write, sorry for being late, sorry for forgetting.
Mhm.
And then I have to delete it. And then I write, thank you for reminding me.
Mhm.
Thank you for being flexible. So there's always this natural instinct of me to say sorry, to please. But now
Mhm.
there's a consciousness and a tool that I have to help me switch it into a thank you, for example, in this example. So like you said, it's
Yeah.
not something that just disappears and now we never have to think about it anymore. It's just something we learn to work with, and we're conscious that it's a practice. Every day we practice.
Yeah. 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 That's a great tool. I change the buts to ands instead of
Oh,
saying but, saying and. Yeah, that's also a good one. Yeah. So what do you enjoy most about your new life now? What are your highlights? Just as you said, I guess it's the little ones, little things in everyday life. But are there also bigger things or general things that you are very thankful, grateful for?
yeah. I would say the biggest thing that I'm so grateful for and happy with that has changed is that I am healthier. And I'm
Mm.
healthier because I experience so much less stress. I experience a different type of stress, which I would say is business worries, which
Mm.
is just your brain never stopping to think about your business, thinking about, oh, maybe I can start doing this, or how can I serve my clients better, or how can I start doing this better? But
Yeah.
that doesn't actually give me stress. The moment I realized that I'm so much healthier was when I was about 6 months or 5 months into my business and I was going to do my first LinkedIn Live event. And um, I realized that night before that I was feeling weird. And then I realized that it was stress the next day. But I kind of forgot that that was what stress was like. So I am in general not feeling stressed, which is a huge difference from how I was when I was in my previous job. But even when I was in university, I was so freaking stressed all the time.
Yeah,
So
I can
I am
imagine.
so grateful. I'm sleeping well. I'm enjoying my evenings without being, short of breath and stuff like that.
Mm.
And in the day to day, I am so grateful that I get to spend time with my partner. Whenever he's off, I get to say, all right, we're going to the gym together. I'm going to work a little bit in the morning. Then I'm going to go to the gym with him. Then I'm going to work again. It's my birthday, taking the day off, like being
Mm.
able to take my calendar and make it work for me instead of it
Yeah.
being this rigid thing that I have to change my life towards.
Mm.
That is amazing. Like, for example, Mondays used to be filled with meetings for me. When I started my business, I was like, Mondays need to be the best day of the week. I'm no longer doing the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, it's Monday again. So it's my bare minimum Monday.
Yeah.
I do the bare minimum and I enjoy the day. And
Yeah.
I know that this is not possible for a lot of people. So I also don't want to put this out there as like, everyone should be able to do this and have a bare minimum Monday. I know what it's like to have your calendar rule your life.
Yeah.
And there are ways to set boundaries and communicate with people to say what you need. And I'm so grateful that I can do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds great. And it's not like everyone should choose this path. It's not like everyone's made to be a digital nomad or an entrepreneur. It's just about choose what works for you. Most people are happy at having a job, I don't know, 9 to 5, they go home and they have their, and it's perfectly life. It's just choose what works for you. If it works for you, great. If you hate it, you should look around and search and create, just like you create the life that works for you.
Exactly.
So,
And that's
yeah.
what I love about this, because it's so unique. So I love seeing with the women that I work with that choosing you is different for everyone. So for some of us, it is saying no and working less. For others, it might be discussing with your partner that you want to work more and that you want to divide the workload or taking care of the kids in a different way. Like that is so different. For some people, it might be starting a diet. For other people, it might be saying, I'm no longer dieting, I'm buying pants that freaking fit me. Whatever it is, it's unique to you. And that makes this so exciting to see what it is for every person that you come across.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds great. So I'm curious to hear, are you working on any current ideas, projects for the future? Or do you maybe have a dream that you would love to realize one day?
Well, to start with the dream, because I'm a big fan of dreams, sometimes women come to me and they're like, I have this crazy dream. And they're kind of like, and I say, bring it on. You're at the right spot. Give me all the crazy dreams. Let's make it not so crazy, because I don't think they are. So my dream is to be able to serve women who cannot generally afford these kinds of support. So I know that there are a lot of women in countries where the salaries are very low who have dreams of their own, who want to start a nonprofit or start a business, or they want to get into education again, or they have these dreams and they don't have the tools available to get the support that they need. So my dream is to be able to support these women as well. Because in the end, I know and I believe that our world has a world to gain by making the dreams that women have a reality, so that our daughters and all the girls that follow us will have an easier path trying to realize those dreams, even daring to dream those dreams. And I know that that is even more important to happen in countries where they don't have the tools available or the money available or the resources to go and make those dreams a reality. So if this business grows into something where I can lend out that hand and say, hey, I got you, we can work on your dream, we can make this a reality, and their daughters can see that and see, hey, if this is possible for my mom, if this is possible for my aunt, if this is possible for my neighbor, then it must be possible for me. So that is my long-term vision. And that starts with something that I'm working on right now. And that is the 𝐻𝐸 group coaching program that is launching this April. So Great. This is a group coaching program where I teach everything that I have taught my clients over the past year to help them choose you. So we go through the sense of self, the confidence, and the courage to take actions that make you feel good and make you have that life that you're longing for. Maybe that you are almost not daring to say out loud what it is that you're dreaming for, right? So we're starting in April. This is a very intimate group coaching program where we meet weekly. And the cart closes the 8th of April. I have an early bird discount going until the 15th of March. And I can't wait to see how all of these women are going to choose them after having run through this program.
Sounds exciting, beautiful. Yeah, I look forward to hear how it was, and also see you grow, see how you evolve and what kind of programs you'll have, and just see your path. Yeah, great. What would you say, Maartje? What is your secret to success?
The secret to success. It's not so much of a secret as I am shouting it off all the rooftops, but it's choosing me. It's choosing me, and it's realizing that if you are someone who has this plate with a cake on it, and you're going around to everyone in your life, your boss, your coworkers, your friends, your family, you're giving out this cake, and at the end of the day, you're left with the crumbs, and you're trying to survive off these crumbs, you can't do that. Spoiler alert, you're gonna be hungry.
Yeah.
You're gonna be unhealthy. So the secret to success is to choose you and feed yourself the cake first. Because if you are malnourished, you cannot support any of the loved ones around you. You cannot do a good job at work. You cannot be a good partner. You cannot be a good parent. You can not be a good caregiver. So the secret is to choose you, even though it might feel selfish. It is not selfish. It is self-care. And by caring for yourself, you are able to care for those who you want to care for around you. And when I started choosing me, that's when all of this really started rolling. And that's when I started to realize that I need to change things. And I'm so glad that I still choose me every day and still fight hard where I've struggled to choose me. That would be my number one thing.
This is a great mindset and great advice. When you ask people, who's the most important person in your life? They look at family, friends, soulmates. I bet no one would say it's me, because they don't even think about it. Exactly, because that would be selfish. But it all starts with you. If you take care of yourself, if you are happy, you can take care of everything and everyone else. Yeah. So if you had the chance to talk to your younger self, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, I would say, hey, little Maartje, how about we switch what do they expect of me to what do I need? That's what I would tell her. How about we switch that around? So we stop asking ourselves, what did they expect? What do they expect of me? And instead, you start asking yourself, what do you need? And I am pretty sure that if I got to tell that to her, the same trajectory of events would happen. I am sure nothing would change, but I do think that seed would grow and grow, and I would be at the same place today with this strong knowing that this is the right place, because I ask myself, what do I need? What do I need? Because I wouldn't change my trajectory. That's the thing. I don't want to change how I got here, because it has taught me so much. I have no regrets. But I would tell her that to give her a sense of calm and peacefulness of it's okay to ask myself, what do I need? It's okay to put myself first. It's okay to care for myself.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, Maartje. So great. You know so many inspiring women. Which one would you love to see in female success stories one day?
Okay, so you asked me this question beforehand, and you said it can be anybody.
Yes, from everywhere around the world, yeah.
So the people who know me know that I am a secret, not so secret Swiftie. In the sense that since I was 12, when I found the video of Love Story, I was hooked, and got my whole family hooked on Taylor Swift CDs. I would love for you to interview her, and not just because I like her country music, not just because of that, but because I think she has such a strong voice when it comes to feminism in the music industry, when it comes to body image that we are putting onto women that they need to adhere to. She has lost the rights to her music because she was put in a weird contract when she was really young, and she's fighting every day to get those rights back. One of her songs, The Man, is one that I recommend the listeners to listen to, because it really represents how she looks at the patriarchy, the music industry. And I just so admire how she uses her voice to speak up about the things in her speeches, in her music. So I think when people hear, oh, you like Taylor Swift, they're like, okay, so you're kind of like a girly fangirl. Which, yes, I am a fangirl. I do like her a lot, and I like her for so many reasons. And I think she's such a strong personality. So I'm putting it into the universe. Someday, Anita, you are
Sounds great.
T Swift.
Yes, she is so incredibly successful, and you feel like it's inside out. She really seems so approachable, such a great person. Yeah, I would love to interview her. So Taylor, you are warmly invited.
I love that. You are warmly invited. You're welcomed with open arms. Just say the word.
Yes. Maartje, thank you so much for sharing your story and your passion here. It was really so inspiring. Is there anything else that you would like to share, to tell about before we end our interview?
Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me. It's been so great to chat with you. And I want to leave the listeners with a question. And this question can stir up some things. But I want to leave you with this question because I wish someone would have asked me this when I was approaching burnout. And that is, what needs to happen for you to value yourself enough to prioritize your goals? What needs to happen for you to value yourself enough to prioritize your goals? What needs to happen? How bad does it need to get? In which hole do you need to fall before you start valuing yourself enough? And I want to leave the listeners with that because this is the question you need to ask yourself if you want to prevent yourself from falling into that hole. That's what I want to leave them with. I also want to invite anybody who feels that this story resonates with them to reach out to me and say, hey, or follow me on Instagram at Your Space to Think. Follow me on LinkedIn, Maartje Bakker. And every Friday, I write a newsletter called Witnessing Growth, where I share my personal development journey through entrepreneurship, through womanhood, through relationships, digital nomading, international relationships, the whole shebang. So if you feel like you want to go on that journey with me and read along what I am working through, you're so warmly invited to join my newsletter. This is my most intimate space where I share all the deep stories that are happening for me today. So, Anita, I hope that this filled your day with a nice connection. It did for me.
Well, thank you so much. It's I loved your stories and your website and also your posts on LinkedIn. Oh my God, they are so great and inspiring. So I recommend everyone to follow, to connect with Maartje because yeah, well, you've seen her, you've heard her. She's just amazing. You can see, I mean, I see you feel so relaxed and happy, and of course there are worries. That's normal. But in general, you just seem to have figured it out. Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as saying I figured it out.
At least for now, you know, not like
I would agree
everything.
That
but
I am very happy and relaxed. You are right.
Yeah, that's great. So you guys out there, thank you so much for listening. And I really hope you have figured it out for yourself and you are actively creating the life that feels great for you. If anything is missing or if you're unhappy, then start showing up for yourself and start taking your life into your hands because yeah, it's just too short and there are so many amazing things out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye.